Welcome to the fifth and final module of Project Wingspan Ontario training, Increasing Native Plant Availability for Monarchs. In this module, we'll review what we've learned so far and discuss how you can participate in Project Wingspan Ontario beyond this training to support monarchs and other pollinators. So to kick off this last module, let's review what you've learned so far. First, you learned about monarchs, including their biology, threats that they face, their status, and conservation efforts in Canada. Next, you learned about the basics of ethically collecting, processing, and storing seed. And finally, you learned about plant identification, with specific emphasis placed on species included in the Project Wingspan Ontario plant list. And with that knowledge, now you should feel prepared to head out into the field and begin collecting seed from some of our target plants. As you begin to identify target plants and collect seed, remember to use our plant profile booklets as a tool. These include approximate times of year for bloom and seed set for each plant, as well as information to assist with identification. But let's say you've gone out, identified some of our target plants, and successfully collected seed from them. What's next? There are many things you can do with the seed to benefit monarchs and other pollinators, and that's what this last module is about. Of course, you can grow out the seed into plants. You can create habitat by directly planting seeds of the plants you've grown out. You can share seed or plants with your personal network, such as with family, friends, and neighbors. You might be able to share the seed or plants in your community more broadly by contributing to seed libraries, sharing seed at seed swap events, or finding other local opportunities. Finally, you can also send seed you've collected to a partner of Project Wingspan Ontario. If you're interested in this option, check out our website for partners that are currently accepting seed. So one option, of course, is to grow out the seed that you've collected. If you go this route, there's one critical thing to know. Most Ontario native plants require cold, moist stratification for seeds to germinate. Going through this cold period, as native plant seeds do in nature, is critical to signal to seeds in spring as it warms up that it's time to grow. So of course, one option is to plant seed you've collected outside in the fall, and your seed will naturally undergo this process. There are also methods to simulate these environmental conditions indoors, but just know that if you decide to grow your plants from seed indoors, this is something that you'll need to think about. I won't go into detail here about cold moist stratification approaches, but we've got lots more information about this on our website in the Learning Hub. Another important factor, whether you're growing seed outdoors or indoors, is to label your plants if you have different species growing. You can pretty quickly forget what you planted where, and this is something I know from personal experience. Growing out seed is also a great way to get others involved. If you have a good grasp of how to grow out seed, you can share this knowledge with others and even create a community group dedicated to growing out seed each year and sharing with other people in the community. As I mentioned before, I won't go too deep into the process of native plant propagation here, but we encourage you to dive into the resources in the Learning Hub. Of course, you can create habitat for the seed that you've collected. Whether you decided to plant seeds directly outdoors in the fall or to propagate native plants indoors to plant as plugs in the spring, this is ultimately what we're aiming for with Project Wingspan Ontario, getting more plants in the ground to provide critical habitat for monarchs and other pollinators. And we have lots of additional resources that you can access through our website to support your habitat creation efforts. First, we've got ecoregional planting guides for many of Canada's ecoregions. So you can download the guide appropriate to your area to learn more information about your ecoregion, other plants that are native to your area, and the types of pollinators that they attract. You can also use the Find Your Roots tool on our website to input your postal code and other plant characteristics, such as plant height and flower color, to get a list of native plants that match your criteria. Finally, you can join our Bee Friendly Gardening program. Members of Bee Friendly Gardening receive an option to register their garden and to get signage, along with other benefits such as newsletters, webinars, and badges that you can earn for achieving certain goals that support pollinators. But say you're growing out lots of plants and you run out of places to plant them, or you want to contribute to habitat elsewhere. Another excellent option is to share cedar plants you've grown out with others. And there are lots of ways to do it. One way is to share seeds or plants you've grown out with your personal network, such as family, friends, and neighbors. This can also be a great opportunity to provide some education about native plants and pollinators to people. Another option is to look for opportunities to donate cedar plants in your community more broadly, such as through seed libraries or seed swap events. Seedy Saturdays are seed swap events that happen in many communities across Canada, so a really good opportunity to look out for. There may also be local groups creating habitat within your community that would love to receive a donation of cedar plants. And if there isn't a group like this, perhaps you might even want to start one yourself. And finally, you may also be able to send seed you've collected to partners of Project Wingspan Ontario. So if this is something you're interested in, check out our website to see if there are any active partners that you would like to send seed to. So now you're ready to collect seed and you've got lots of ways to use it, whether that's creating habitat yourself or providing seed or plants to others. As you go about these efforts to support monarchs and other pollinators, we would love to hear from you about what you've accomplished. Tell us about how much seed you've collected, which species, how much seed you've shared, how much habitat you've created, and really anything else that you're proud of accomplishing. We would love for you to tell us all of this through the reporting form that is available on our website. And finally, now that you've completed all 5 modules, we would love for you to complete the post-training quiz. Hopefully you already completed the pre-training quiz and we'll be able to use your results from that as a guide to see how much you've learned through these modules. These quizzes will help you to solidify the knowledge that you're taking away from this training, and it'll give us some helpful feedback on your learning experience. All right, that's it for Project Wingspan Ontario training. We hope that you've learned lots and are feeling ready to get out there, collect seed, and support monarchs and other pollinators. If you have any feedback, we would love to hear from you. Please reach out to us at info@pollinatorpartnership.ca. Thank you for your interest in this training and happy seed collecting.